Welcome back to the Hard Hitter Podcast. I'm joined with Michael Bosch. Michael, say what's up.
What's up? Not Michael Ballsack no more.
No longer Michael Balsecki. You have graduated.
Let's go.
Michael Bosecki.
I didn't like Michael Ballsack anyway.
All right, we are here. We're excited. Week 1 is here.
Finally.
What? Finally?
Finally.
Very true. Finally, long off season. Always is. We got a week 1 schedule. We're going to go through it. We'll be doing this every week. And we're doing a recap and a prediction every week. There's no recap. So we're not doing a recap. So we're doing a prediction for week 1.
We could recap preseason.
No.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that. Okay. So for week 1, the first game, September 9th, Thursday at 7:20 to kick off the NFL season. We have the Cowboys at the Bucks. First game of the season. Michael, who's taking it, and give me a reason why.
Obviously, it's fuck the Bucks because they beat the Chiefs.
Fuck the
Bucks. I could see them coming out slow and not playing the best. You know, it's like a season opener, but I think if they play well, the Bucks will win.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah. I think it has high upset potential. Week 1, Super Bowl slump. But I'm gonna go with the Bucks. They're kind of a well-oiled machine at this point.
Yeah, they didn't lose anybody.
Nope. The second game, who cares? Jacksonville at Houston. I'm going with the Jags. T-Law first game on the road against a weak Texans team.
Yeah,
taking on the Jags.
Yeah, I could see him going off. I don't think he'll go off, but it'll be a close game.
It'll be good. Yeah. It's a good first game for T-Law.
I wouldn't be surprised if he throws like 2 picks.
Yeah. Not against that defense.
They got Desmond King, my boy. But moving on from a not so boring game.
We'll go to the Chargers at the Washington football team. Another
good game.
Week 1. Well, what's your take?
Chargers have so much potential, but I don't think they're going to be full stride at the beginning. I think Washington just coming out of the playoffs and almost beating the Bucks. You know, they got a new quarterback. I think they'll win.
Okay.
But if that game happened like week 10, I think the Chargers would win.
On the contrary, have Justin Herbert and the LA Chargers winning that game. LA, it's never been a question of talent per se. It's just, can they get it done? Because they have all the talent in the world. Justin Herbert's an animal. They upgrade the O-line. Great wide receivers there. You got Keenan Allen, of course. Mike Williams, a solid receiver. Austin Eckler, really good receiving back. A good defense. Joey Bosa. Just everything is good there. They're getting Derwin back. So there's a lot. It's never been a question of talent with the Chargers. It's just, can they get it done? And I think
it's execution.
Yeah, I think they do.
They had, like, for the past 2 or 3 years, the most losses within a touchdown.
Yep.
It's pretty crazy.
I'm going with the Chargers though. I'm going Chargers. Okay, next game we have
really good game.
Seahawks and the Indianapolis Colts, which will be having their starting quarterback Carson Wentz play.
I hope that one's on TV out here. But
what are the other Fox games that day? The other ones look terrible. So yeah, it probably will be cool.
Yeah.
God.
But it's a tough one. Because Carson's playing, I think the Colts have such a good team, and the Seahawks are really lacking in the defense and offensive line category.
The team department.
Yeah. Everyone besides Russ and the receivers. And middle linebacker. And safety.
So you're going Colts.
Yeah, the Colts are just really good.
Yeah, I'm going Colts too at home. We'll see. I'm interested to see how Carson Wentz will play since he didn't get to play a preseason game, didn't get a whole lot of training camp. So it'll just be interesting to see him on a new team, especially with not a lot of practice with that new team. I don't know how much he's been practicing as of late to prepare for this game. I'm sure he has been, but
It's just
uh,
time to prove that it
yeah,
was Philly's fault, not
yeah,
his.
yeah. I'm interested to see if they give him full reins that first game, or is he on a pitch count similar? Just he only has a couple snaps. We'll see. It'll probably depend on how the game's going. But I'm really interested to see that new offense. I think Ty's out still, correct? Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't know.
I think he's still out. I don't think Quentin Nelson will be there, which is a big loss for them. Still a great O line in Indy. Um, the run game should be there. Jonathan Taylor, really good running back with great depth behind him. You still have Marlon Mack. He got injured out all last year. People forget about him. Naheem Hines, great receiving back. Just a lot of talent on that team. And that hasn't even brought up the defense yet. Darius, there's just so many great players.
Yeah, they will.
And the Seahawks, I don't know. I think this will be their first big dip. Maybe not they won't be terrible, but their first big dip in like the great team they used to be. I'd say so.
Yeah.
Move on to the next game. The New York Jets at the Carolina Panthers. Another shitter game. This is Sam Darnold revenge week, I guess.
Yeah, I think he'll probably get revenge too because Justin Fields' first game, and the Panthers are actually, I think they're actually a decent team when they're all healthy.
Justin Fields.
Good. What?
You said Justin Fields first.
Oh, you know what I meant.
I know. Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, the Panthers when they're healthy, they have Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore.
DJ Moore. There's McCaffrey. A lot of time. Christian McCaffrey is not
Yeah.
They have a good team. I think
their defense was pretty good last year too.
Yeah, they were okay. But I don't know. I liked what the Jets are starting to build in New York. You've talked about the Panthers. I'll talk about the Jets for a little bit. I like what they're building in New York. Not much defensively. They just signed the middle linebacker, and he's out for the year now, kind of getting the CJ Mosley treatment. They sign him, gets hurt, out for the whole year. Just not a lot going great in New York right now. A lot of injuries, stuff to deal with. We'll see how Zach Wilson plays in his first regular season game. I think he has a decent offense around him, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see on that one. Alrighty, next game we have.
Pick a winner.
Oh, I picked Carolina.
Yeah, I think I said Carolina.
I think you did too. That's what I was thinking. I was piggybacking, since we hadn't talked about the game. So the next team, the Minnesota Vikings at the Cincinnati Bengals. We'll see the return of Joe Burrow versus the Vikings. See where they stand.
The Vikings or the Bengals have I would say, a fairly decent young offense. I don't know about the defense, but I feel like it's just the Vikings are just like at this point a whole team and not young with Kirk. Justin Jefferson went off, Thielen, their offense, Dalvin Cook. It's pretty scary, but their defense obviously kind of sucks. But their offense, I think, will just get it done against the Bengals.
Yeah. And even with the Vikings, like they still have some good defensive pieces. They have Danielle Hunter, really good. It's just really that secondary who I believe it was the youngest secondary last year. Mike Zimmer had to make some adjustments. He's known for defense. I'm sure he'll be able to get that defense back. Especially with the talent he has.
Yeah.
They pick up Patrick Peterson, could be a good mentor for some of those younger secondary players. So I'm interested to see especially that Vikings defense could be this year, because they could be something special if they get back into Mike Zimmer form. But yeah, the Bengals, young, we talked about that. I'm interested to see how Jamar Chase plays after kind of a rough preseason. Not necessarily any indications about that, but like still, you got to catch the ball if you're a receiver, and let alone pick that high instead of a great offensive lineman who they could have had to protect their franchise quarterback. Interested to see how Joe Burrow plays coming back from his big injury. He's had a lot of rest, so I'm gonna go with Minnesota though. Minnesota. Okay, sweet. Next game, the Cardinals.
Good ass game.
Titans. Another good game. I'll start this one off since you've been starting it off. Talk about Arizona, like, I think people want to put them in this upper echelon of offenses. I don't think they're there yet. I think obviously DeAndre Hopkins is really good. Edmonds, I like him at running back. But other than that, Kyler, when I watch him, a lot of the times he seems indecisive. Sometimes makes boneheaded plays. If he could clean that up this year, I think that offense could be a really good offense. But even with that, if he does play like that, their defense is just so weak. They've lost everything on that defense. They just don't have anything to stop anybody, especially a guy like Derrick Henry, who's probably going to run all over this team. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Yeah. So I'll go Titans here.
Yeah.
Titans. Okay, sweet. Next game, the San Francisco 49ers at the Detroit Lions.
Weak game.
This has been like the first like blowout game, I'd say.
Yeah. The other ones have been kind of bad teams against each other, but this if they don't blow them out, I mean, come on. I mean, then if they don't blow them out, I don't think it's the first week, but then I think that'll be early signs that they're not the same team they were 2 years ago.
Yeah, definitely.
I think they have to come out and show that they're back from the injuries and all that, and they're gonna be a real threat this year. Can't lose week 1 against the Lions.
Oh yeah, definitely. We'll see George Kittle back. That'll be fun. See what he can do. On the Detroit side, if you're a Detroit fan, you're just really looking for any signs of life here. See what Jared Goff can do. See what your new head coach Dan Campbell, kind of what he likes to do on offense and defense. So
what rookie did they get? Do you know?
What's his name? O-line. Oregon. He's blank. That's blank.
No.
Yeah, why am I blanking?
Oh, here we go.
Penei Sewell.
Oh, yeah.
I just couldn't think of his name. Penei Sewell. So
there's some hope.
I think they drafted. I like the late pick. I think picked 3rd, 4th round. Amon-Ra St. Brown. I like him a lot. We'll see what he can do. They picked up what's his name from the Raiders, William. So we'll see. It's a lot of new pieces in Detroit.
Yeah.
Jared Goff, obviously, didn't even talk about him yet, but we'll see. I don't think there's a lot there, but
I feel like his only weapon's Hawkinson. I don't really know who the receivers are. You said Amon-Ra St. Brown, but they got rid of Golladay and Marvin Jones. So
I don't even know. That's what I'm saying. A lot of moving pieces this year. I like that they did get Sewell that late, because that's really a great way to build a team, build it from the trenches out. I like that they're doing that. It's smart. Look at the Colts, for instance. They did that. They built a team around the trenches. So we'll have to see in the Lions. I think maybe even if it's a blowout, we'll get to see some new pieces that they acquired. So next game, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Buffalo Bills. Another good one. Mike, you want to start it off?
Tough game, because the Steelers are red fucking hot last year to start, and then they fell off. And the Bills, they were just consistently really good the whole year. They didn't fall off. They just, who'd they lose to in the playoffs? The Chiefs. Shit, right? Yeah.
No, they lost to the
Titans.
Yeah. Oh no. They lost to the Chiefs.
They lose to the Chiefs? I can't remember, honestly. They lost. Yeah, doesn't matter.
They The Chiefs beat the
But
Browns and then the Bills.
honestly, this is one of those games where I don't know, but I'm just like, the Bills are the home team. So, and like,
Yeah, yeah, I got you. I got you.
I think the stadiums are all full, so the crowds will
Yeah,
actually really
yeah,
matter
yeah.
this year. So I'm gonna go
Especially in
Bills.
Buffalo, the
Yeah.
home fan base. For this game, I'm interested to see a lot of like Ben Roethlisberger's back. We'll see how that works out. This is gonna be the first time
Najee.
yeah, this is gonna be the first time I think we've seen because in Pittsburgh, it's been a lot of defense the last couple of years because the offense has just been kind of weak with injuries and people leaving. And but this year could really be the year they kind of step back into form. If Ben plays well, they should have a run game now. Like, excuse me, with Najee Harris, Juju, Claypool, Deontay Johnson, like they have good offensive line. They have a lot.
Yeah.
It's all on Ben Roethlisberger if he can come back and play like a good quarterback. Not really any questions with the defense. Great D line. TJ Watt, obviously, going to be in defensive player of the year conversations probably this year. I mean, there's
Oh yeah.
there's just a lot of talent on that team. I think just the real big question is just Ben Roethlisberger. Is he going to be a good starting quarterback this year?
Yeah.
And then the Bills, you can see I got my man Josh Allen in the background. Probably a player who's not a Bear or a Chief, my favorite player in the NFL. And I think he already took a giant step last year. I think he's going to take another step this year to kind of put himself on par with, because I don't think I think he's talent wise on par, but he hasn't been able to like prove it. Like he hasn't been consistently good. So I think he'll take this year another step forward to be on like the Aaron Rodgers level. Like I think he'll be that good.
What's the step he has to take? What do you? I just
Like
want to
just
know what you think.
play just as good, like just
No,
consistent play.
just be like I did last year. Like no
Yeah,
like accolade, like no MVP, like
it's not
nothing
even that.
like
Just like
just playing
he
good.
shows he wasn't just like a 1 year wonder. Like he can
Okay.
keep doing this for years and years to
Yeah.
come. Because I think that separates the good and the bad quarterbacks, or like good and great quarterbacks. Sorry,
Yeah.
but yeah, other than Josh Allen, they pick up some great edge rushers. Uh, Basham and they get Rousseau. Is it Rousseau and Basham? I believe.
They
Um,
got Russo or Pay. I think the Colts got
Oh
Pay.
no,
So
yeah, Colts got Cody Pace. So I think it's Russo and then Carlos Basham, who I really like in the second round. Bash, great pickup. They needed defensive ends. They got two in the first two picks. Great picks. I love their off season. I can't rave about it enough. I have, and I will keep doing it. Great secondary, just a great overall team. One of the better rosters in the NFL. So I'm gonna go with the Bills, like you said.
mhm.
And for the last 12 o'clock game, we have
Snooze fest.
the Eagles and the Falcons. Eagles, we'll see Jalen Hurts as the true QB1. We'll see him without any restrictions. We'll see how he does. Kind of a weak team around him. Don't like the secondary. They didn't do much to fix that. It's just a weaker team. I don't know what else to say about it than that. You want to pop in about the Eagles or not?
I mean, I feel like the Eagles, I don't think the Falcons have, I don't even know what you would say their defense is, but it's not like one of the best. I feel like it's
Oh no,
either
it's one of the worst.
mediocre or worst.
Oh no,
I
it's
think it's
one of the
this
worst.
is going to be like a game where I think the Eagles are going to win, but I think it's going to be a game where like Jalen Hurts does good against it and people hype him up and then he just
Yep.
kind of declines throughout the year and
Yeah.
pops off one game,
That's pretty possible.
bad, pop off bad, you
Okay,
know.
next. But yeah, Falcons. Talk about them for a second. Obviously, we just talked about they have one of the weaker defenses in the NFL, but they do still have a solid offense. You can't like write off that offense. It's just a
Yeah.
good Matt Ryan, consistently good. You pick up Kyle Pitts. You got Calvin Ridley still there. Russell Gage. A lot of really good players. Mike Davis is your running back now. I like that pickup. A lot of. I think they just need to do more to. I like them picking Kyle Pitts, but they need to do something address that defense. But I I like kind of what they did this offseason, moving Julio. I think it was time. But in this game, kind of a toss up. I just think the Falcons are the more veteran team, not in a good way,
Yeah.
but they'll get the win. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day, but I'm going Falcons.
Yeah. I feel like it's not a meaningless game, but
Yeah.
it's not like an impactful game
No,
on the
it's
rest of the
not,
league.
it's not an impactful game at all. I agree. Okay, we're moving on to the 3 o'clock game, starting off with a great game. The Cleveland Browns at the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll let you start it off.
Well, I'm obviously gonna say Chiefs. A little bit, maybe a little bit biased because I'm a Chiefs fan, but
Okay.
I will say for future Chiefs games and this one, the only way I see the Chiefs losing a game is if they beat themselves or there's some like catastrophic injury. I don't see them losing because the Browns
I
are
don't see
pretty
another.
even.
I think I don't see another team beating them.
No,
This kind of
maybe
where
like
they have to
maybe
beat
like
themselves.
it'd have to be like a team like a Titans at home on a Monday
Even
night. It's
even
not gonna
that,
be.
even that, I think
It's
they
a
still beat them
stretch
unless they beat themselves.
because
No,
the
no team beats
Chiefs
them.
the Chiefs got fucking dismantled in the Super Bowl and they fixed the goddamn O line and they drafted defense. I mean, Brett Veach really fucking
Yeah,
tries to improve his mistakes, unlike the
yeah.
Giants. But
That's so cold.
the Chiefs will only lose if they beat themselves. But when you stack them up, it's hard to just say, oh, that team's gonna beat the Chiefs
Yep.
because they're
Yep.
just too good.
Yeah. The Chiefs beat when they lose, they beat themselves. It's
Yeah.
because they're doing dumb mistakes. I think as much as I love Andy Reid, I've always had this criticism. Like he's terrible clock management.
Oh yeah.
He wins a lot of games, but if he didn't, he needs to stop taking his foot off the gas. Just keep piling on. Don't let these teams come back. And I know he's winning a majority of them, but stop letting teams come back in this game because that's going to come back and you're going to beat
That's
yourself.
that's the difference between Alex Smith. Alex Smith would lose, like he didn't put up enough points, but
Yeah.
Mahomes can score in like 50 seconds.
Yeah.
That's the difference. So you don't notice it, but if you really look at some games,
Yeah.
they should be blowouts instead of like
Yeah.
a 10-point game. He makes them way closer than they need to be.
Yeah, I just don't like. I don't. That's one thing I just don't like about Andy Reid. I think what you just put your foot on the gas, kill the team, basically take their spirits away. So you don't even have to. You don't have to worry about the last drive scoring a touchdown.
Yeah.
Put teams away. Like that's my one critique for the Chiefs. Put teams away. We'll give them that. We'll see if they can do it. But with that, we didn't talk about the Browns at all. Let's talk about the Browns. Browns.
I mean, no slouch.
You can go.
But no, you can go. You can go.
Okay.
I was just saying no
Browns.
slouch of the team.
Great overall roster, obviously. Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, Odell. They said Odell is going to play week 1 now. Jarvis, T. Higgins, good O-line, great defense. Myles Garrett. I love the defense they have there. It's just one of the better overall rosters, not really a weakness. We'll see how Baker does. I think Baker is going to take kind of a step this year. I think when you're in such a good offense, I don't know if it's going to be him taking the step, but like great offensive mind and Stefanski. Didn't even mention that. Great offensive mind is Stefanski. Yeah. But when you're in such a good offense like the Browns, where you have a Nick Chubb, a Kareem Hunt, Odell, Jarvis, T-Hit, like all of that has to go through the quarterback. So I think he might look a little better than he is stat-wise just because everything goes through him. He's going to be getting all those passing yards. He throws a screen. That screen runs for 30 yards. That's going through him. It's just going through him. Everything goes through Baker. So,
but I will
go ahead.
I don't want to cut you off, but I will say I don't want to go too much into it on the Browns too much. But I will say their team's so good, and I think the one thing holding them back is Baker, though. I mean,
that's what I was about to say. He really just has to be a good game manager. That's all he has to do is be a game manager. And people like to rave. Like this is my same thing with Tua. We'll talk about Tua in a couple games. But not everybody's a Mahomes, not everybody's an Aaron Rodgers, not everybody's a Josh Allen, not everybody has that crazy arm strength, or like just
Sometimes
they
you need to
can't
be
run.
Alex Smith.
Yeah, some don't have great legs like Lamar. Not everybody's like that. We need to stop expecting every quarterback to be great like that. A Tua Tagovailoa, Alabama, he was a game manager. Baker was not. He was a playmaker at Oklahoma. But you come to the NFL stage, you might not be as talented as some of these other players. You turn into a game manager. People, it's not even like teams or organizations. It's the fans. It's the fans that do this. Everybody has to be the next Mahomes. You can be a good game manager and be a very successful quarterback. Very successful. Look at
Tom Brady might be.
I was about to say the greatest player of all time. Let's be honest, he's a game manager. He manages the game. I'm just trying to think. There's plenty. Look at Drew Brees, great game manager. Great. Most quarterbacks
I'd say the best
are game managers.
The best three probably. Well, Alex Smith, when he was obviously healthy, was one of the best.
Hell, you can call Peyton Manning a game manager. He never had the arm talent.
Well, the thing is,
I'm a Peyton Manning. I love Peyton.
The star players are game managers too. They can do both, but you don't have to be the star.
The thing about you go look at Peyton Manning. He never had the arm. He's obviously good accuracy, but any good quarterback needs to have good accuracy. Let's be honest. You got to be able to.
No, I know, but don't. I was just saying, like, don't disrespect Peyton by just saying game manager.
I don't think game manager is a bad title, though. I think it's been given the stigma to be
not, but he's like a star.
Yeah, but
there's people that are just game managers. He's like a game manager and some.
No, but like that's what I'm saying. That's the problem with people. What you think about game manager? Game manager should be used in the same way scrambler is for Lamar, or strong arm for Josh Allen or Mahomes. Like, as much as I love Mahomes isn't really a game manager. He's a great quarterback. He's not really a game manager.
No, he's not.
He just puts points on the board. Peyton Manning.
He's a score manager.
Peyton Manning notices there's 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay. We're going to run the ball a lot. We're going to do a lot of short passes. We're going to waste 3.5 minutes and go up by 10. I'm going to kick a field goal, go up by 10, take 3.5 minutes off the clock. The team has 1 minute left. We're up by 10. We're going to win this game. That's the thing. Game manager isn't bad. There's just a stigma around game manager. I think there should be scramblers like a Lamar, strong arm like Mahomes. Game manager, you can be a great game manager like Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Brady. If some of the greatest quarterbacks, game managers, like that should just be another thing. You can be an amazing game manager and be the best quarterback in football. You can be a scrambler and be the best quarterback in football. You can be a strong arm and be the best quarterback in football. That's just kind of my little rant about that. But after all that, I'm picking the Chiefs. Sorry.
Yay.
Got on a tangent. Sorry. Okay. But I think that's an important point. People need to stop thinking everybody's Mahomes. Okay. Next game, the Packers and the Saints. You can go. I just talked for a long time.
This is like a proving game for the Saints. And I didn't even know who their quarterback was going to be until week 4 of the preseason. So they're obviously not going to have their offense down. And this is the last dance for the Packers. And I think where are the
Aaron Rodgers championships? What?
Okay. I'm saying that's what people have been calling it. It's the last dance.
It was just a joke.
But it's Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams. They're going to put up their points and make a couple stops and win. That's how I think the game is pretty much going to go. It'll be a good game, obviously, but it's just the Saints aren't really, I don't think, a full team yet.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it'll be close. I think the Packers will kick the shit out of them. The Saints are going to be sub 500 team this year. I think a big step back for the Saints. That team is really weak. Really weak, and they're about to enter cap hell. I would not be surprised if we see them say trade deadline week 9, week 8, say they're about at 500. Would not be surprised if they unloaded a couple players like a Michael Thomas.
Cam Jordan.
I think Cam will be there. His contract's so bad. He's a good player. Don't get me wrong. His contract's just so large for what he does, but that could be another team player that goes, but such a big contract for a long time. It'd be hard to unload it. But
I think they have to pay Lattimore soon too, if they already haven't already.
They haven't paid Lattimore. That's another problem. They have, it's bad.
There's enough problem for the Saints. We don't got to talk about the problems.
But yeah, I'm going with the Packers as well. Next game, we can skip the next game.
Okay, let's go to the Dolphins.
So next game we got the Broncos and the Giants.
I don't like either of these teams, or I'm not gonna say their future, but there's a lot of holes that are really big that they need to fill. The Giants have a really good offense, but just a mediocre quarterback and a terrible offensive line. Their skill positions are good.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. And their defense was top 10, top 5. I don't remember. They were really good.
I don't think they're going to be that good this year.
I'm saying last year.
I know that last year. I understand, but I just don't think they're going to be that good this year.
I think they'll be like pretty good. Not the best.
I think it also had something to do with the NFC East had a very, very weak schedule last year.
That is very true. And they all finished with 6 wins. But
that's why I think I will not be surprised if the Giants defense isn't top 15.
You would be surprised or won't be surprised?
Would not be surprised.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't top 20. There are some very glaring issues.
And they play a really good team this year, so it's obviously going to fuck up a little bit. But
I think you can run on that Giants defense very easily.
Yeah.
I think
Go
ahead. Sorry.
Me and Frank look at it. If you just go back and look at their drafts, they draft so bad. Like they might be the worst drafting NFL team
They're bad, but
I've ever seen. Their only good first round pick has been Odell.
Yep.
You can't count Saquon because Saquon was given. Like you got the best running back. You need a running back.
We knew
every other pick you can go back and look is terrible.
Yep. But yeah, I don't know. I think the defense has been a little overrated. I think like other than like Blake Martinez, they don't have any good run stoppers. James Bradbury's good. I think he got I think he got a little overrated because he played weak competition.
Yeah.
I think he's not going to be as good as he was this year. Don't like their safeties. Logan Ryan and Jabril?
Yeah, Jabril.
I don't think Jabril's that good.
I mean, their defense, D line's okay. They have like Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah, they have good they have a couple good pass rushers.
Yeah, he just got the bag though. So if he sucks, it was a waste.
I don't know. We talked about the Giants for a long time.
Yeah, the Broncos.
You can go ahead.
We're just involved with the Giants more than the Broncos.
Yeah, we have built up thoughts about the Giants.
Yeah, the Broncos. I don't even know. It'll be a good game to see if this team's for the future. I mean, I don't really know. They had a lot of moving pieces this offseason. They got rid of Drew Lock's not starting, which I don't know if that's. I mean, they got Teddy, so. But I don't really know how to feel about the Broncos this year. They're not a threat.
I have a hunch that they could be a good team just because you're getting a player like, I don't know if he's going to be the same player, but you're getting Von Miller back. I think people forget about that. Von Miller, he's top 3 pass rusher when he was healthy.
They got the corner that I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I know you're talking.
Patrick Surtain?
Yeah, Surtain.
Yeah.
It does look like they're going to lose Bryce Callahan, which is a tough loss. He's a really good nickel corner. I think he wants out. We'll see. Like you said, touched on Teddy Bridgewater. And I don't know. It's kind of just like a stopgap till they can get a good drafted quarterback, which that's fine. I understand why they picked him up. It makes sense. But you also have, I can't think of their GM's name, but I know he was talking about an interview that there's just so much quarterback talent in every draft. They don't need to worry about drafting a quarterback, which I just think that's such a terrible way
Yeah.
of thinking, because there's really not. I don't like this year's quarterback class, this next year's quarterback class. I don't think they're great. I don't think the next two are great, to be honest with you. Like, I don't know. I just they have a lot of talent on that team. I think they throw it away. As much as I love Vic Fangio for being the Bears defensive coordinator, he coordinated the 10-6 defense in 2018. Great defensive coordinator. I just don't think he's that great of a head coach. I don't know. There's a lot I like on that Broncos team, but there's a lot I don't like at the same time. I don't know. They're just an interesting team. I'm interested to see, because they were very injured last year, how they play. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about the Broncos, to be
But
honest.
I'll say is it's hard to know now, but after when we watch week one, obviously you'll see really what every team's about.
Yep.
These are just you don't know how a team's gonna play, and for those two especially, that'll be big indicators because they're in like a limbo
Yep.
stage of
Yeah.
their team.
It's really, especially like right now for the Giants, they're just in a bad place where they're just going to keep hovering around. Like, they're not good enough to make the playoffs, but they're hovering around like the 12th pick. That's the
Yeah.
worst place you can be in the NFL. Just mediocre. Mediocre is the worst thing to be in sports. Either be really
Yeah.
good or really bad.
At
Don't
least
be.
if you're really bad, you have something to look forward to in a couple
Yep.
of years.
Either be really good or really bad. Because if you just stick in that limbo of mediocre, it's just not fun. But who's your pick
Like
for this game? Oh, good.
I think the Giants are just a better overall team, and
Yeah.
it'll be
Yeah.
Daniel Jones has to be what we call a game manager. Like that's all he has to
Thing
do,
is,
and they'll win games.
the problem with Dave, oh, we could get into a 30-minute conversation on Daniel
Now we
Jones.
can wait till
I know, but
the
I just want to say a
recaps.
quick snippet. But like, I don't think he's a game manager though. He's more of an athletic quarterback. If
No,
we're
I'm saying
being
all he has
honest.
to do is
He
that because he has
needs to
so
be
many
a game
weapons about
manager,
around
but
him.
I don't know the way they call plays.
They call like read options and
I
shit.
hate the plays they call in New York when I watch their offense. It's really hard to watch. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll move on though.
I don't know.
Do you have the Giants?
Yeah, I'll take the Giants. Next game, the Dolphins at the New England Patriots. I think this is another good game. We get the matchup, Mac Jones versus Tua. I think it's an interesting little dynamic. Quarterbacks who played together for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I also think it's a little interesting that who was it? One of the wide receivers said he liked playing for Mac Jones better than Tua. I want to say it was Waddle, which is a little ironic. No, it wasn't Waddle. It was Devonta Smith. Okay, whatever. But I just think that was interesting. We'll see. You go ahead. Sorry, I gotta collect my thoughts on the game. Go ahead. I just bullshitting.
I mean, it's hard to tell for both these teams. Week one, the Patriots obviously struggled this year, but they've made a bunch of signings, got a lot of tight ends.
I
Mac
also
Jones
saw on
quarterback.
SportsCenter. Well, let me cut you off real quick. On SportsCenter, they broke the record for most money spent in an offseason. It's like 138 million.
Well, there you go.
Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
And then the Dolphins committing to Tua this year because last year they flip-flopped between him and Fitzpatrick. They drafted Waddle. I don't know if they drafted anyone else, but it'll be like these two are definitely playoff teams. The last two are not, but they're in the same situation. Week one will tell you everything.
Yep.
I think about how they will play.
Yeah, I agree.
But I'll go Patriots.
Okay. Like I said, I think people give up on. This is another tangent I can go on. I won't. People give up on quarterbacks way too soon. It's been 1 year with Tua. Let's chill out. He was like for like 3 years straight. Everybody knew he was going to be like the number one quarterback until he got injured. So let's not forget about that. Like, come on. It's been 1 year. Quarterbacks sometimes take more than 1 year. I'm sorry. Just the truth. It's a tough
Josh
position.
Allen.
Tough position to play in sports. Let's be honest. A lot of moving pieces, but let's give Tua the chance. I like their offseason. On the defense, I think I don't like their defensive offseason as much as I like their offense. Pick up Will Fuller. Obviously, he's not going to be playing this game. Got suspended. But a lot of good moving pieces. We'll see with the Dolphins. I think there's a lot of question marks, but yeah, but the Patriots, Mac Jones is obviously their guy. They've decided that. So we'll see how he plays. I think he'll be good in that first week, especially against a solid defense in Miami. But like Michael said, they spent a lot of money this year. I don't think they spent a lot of money to lose, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Gonna try to win. Jonnu, Hunter Henry, I love those pickups. You could always use a great tight end. Tight ends are like, if you have a young quarterback, get a good tight end, because a tight end is like, it's like a safety valve for a quarterback. If you have a great safety valve, your rookie quarterback's going to look a lot better. So, like, hell, look at fucking Travis Kelce and Mahomes, like Tom Brady and Gronk. Come on. A lot of great quarterbacks have great tight ends. So, but for my pick, I'm gonna go Patriots as well, although I think it's a good game both ways.
Yeah.
The next game, that was it for the 3:00 games. The last game of Sunday, our first Sunday, we have the Chicago Bears at the LA Rams. Michael, I'll let you start it off since it's my team.
I'll just go short and sweet. The Rams are just one of the best teams in the NFL. No disrespect to the Bears, but yeah. That's all I got to say about that one.
No deep dive on either team.
No, I'll let you do the deep dive on your team.
Damn. Yeah, it's a tough week 1 matchup. Not gonna lie. Maybe we've seen Matthew Stafford a lot. Maybe we can shut him down because we played him a lot. I don't know. It's a tough week 1. I like a lot of the move. I love actually our offseason that we had this year. I'm interested to see kind of what they wanted, because I kind of have like a plan in my, like, not a plan, but like an idea in my head of how they're going to play with Justin Fields, knowing Matt Nagy and like kind of the plays he calls. But I'm interested to see what they do with Dalton, because a lot of their offense in years past has been based around Trubisky, who is a scrambler, but you're losing that. You're not getting that in Dalton. So I'm interested to see kind of Matt Nagy's way of changing the offense to match Andy Dalton. I'm interested to see what the new running backs can do. We obviously got Montgomery, and then we get Damian Williams is a good pickup. Not to mention Tariq Cohen comes back.
Tariq Cohen,
cool. That's it. I want to talk about running backs. Then I went in. We also have Allen Robinson. I believe he was number 1. No, I know he is. He was number 1 in contested catches last year. But like when I watch the games, we never throw it up to him. Like you should know that as a coach. I've seen it on Twitter. Like, you should know that stat as a coach and just be like, okay, we're throwing it up to him at least twice a game. Just throw it. One-on-one coverage, just give him a chance.
Hey, hell, PI. At least.
That's what Allen Robinson's great at. I don't know why we don't do it. It pisses me off every game. But yeah. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of question marks this year. The defense is getting older, just scary. Weak, not secondary, but weak corners this year. Losing Kyle Fuller, which is actually a big loss. If you look at our secondary, I think our second corner is like, is it Vildor? It's either Vildor or Duke Shelley, which is not good, because you don't know those names, Mike. I know damn well you don't know those names. That's how you know it's bad. Jalen Johnson, I like him. Interested to see how he does against number 1 receivers. Although I think we're going to be playing a lot of zone this year. A lot of zone. So We'll see. There are a lot of question marks on that side. I just talked about the Bears for a while, so why don't you talk about the Rams so I can catch my breath?
Fuck the Rams now. I mean, the Rams, one of the best defenses. They have the two biggest stars on defense. They have other good pieces around there. Offense, they have Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods. I mean, Cam Akers just got hurt, sadly, but I don't know who the running back is. Like Daryl, yeah.
And they just traded for Sony Michel as well.
Yeah, and then I don't know how good their O line is anymore, but obviously
they're good. Yeah.
Obviously, adding Matthew Stafford from Jared Goff's a big improvement, and they'll have some offense now for that fantastic defense they have. So they're going to be a team that beats themselves a lot, like the Chiefs, I think.
Yep.
They'll be a hard team to beat. That's why they'll be favorites in a lot of games.
Yeah. I think the only chance the Bears have is if they have not like fine-tuned the offense yet and they make mistakes in the Bears defense.
Which could happen.
It could, but that's what I'm saying. That's our most likely chance to win is they haven't figured out what they want to do on offense and they make like bad plays and we capitalize on that on defense and maybe get a defensive touchdown or something or flip the field or something like that. But yeah, I got to go with the Rams as a Bears fan. I'll go with the Rams. Unbiased pick. Okay, and the last game of the week, the Monday night game, the Ravens at the LA Raiders. I'll let you start off, Moke.
Well, I think the Raiders will be kind of like how they were last year. Mediocre team. Not mediocre. That's kind of disrespectful, but there'll be a team that can upset a lot of teams, but they're not really a threat at a playoff level. They might sneak in a wild card, but they're not. You're not thinking, oh, Raiders Super Bowl. But the Ravens are like pretty much they're above them. They're like I'd say they're like around the Bills, Titans, Browns. They're not on the Chiefs level.
I think they're just a tier below those teams, or like
they're like yeah. And Ravens are a hard team to beat, but I think the Raiders will pull off the upset. Raiders love pulling off upsets, man. They beat the Chiefs a lot.
Yeah. I agree with a lot Michael says. Raiders they'll be a solid team. You don't like to play them. You don't want to play them. Yeah, but
especially at home.
Yep.
Monday night, full fucking new stadium.
Yep. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. But I don't know. I just think the Ravens, they're kind of on a different tier than the Raiders. I think I still like, as much as it's fun to shit on Lamar, people shit on him a little too much. He's a playmaker. He's a fucking playmaker. And they just got Le'Veon Bell. I don't like Le'Veon Bell.
Dobbins shouldn't if they even think about Le'Veon Bell even getting more carries than him, they should just.
Dobbins is out for the year. That's why they picked him.
Oh, I forgot. I completely forgot that. They have Gus Edwards still. Yeah. I'd take Gus Edwards over him.
Yeah, I know you were kind of hyped for Le'Veon when the Chiefs got him, but I was pissed off, bro. Like, he's just a cancer wherever he goes, man.
I thought he would go to the great team and be like, oh, it's so nice here. No, he left.
Right when he left,
bitching.
Shit on Andy Reid for no reason. When nobody, as much as I critique Andy Reid, no player has ever shit on him. They all love him. They love Andy Reid. That's one thing he can say about himself. But yeah, I just think the Ravens are on a different level. I think it'll be interesting with a lot of the moves they made on offense, picking up some receivers. Marquise Brown doesn't have to be like that guy anymore. So they got Watkins, him,
Sammy's. If he stays healthy, he's obviously good.
What's his name? They drafted him. Rashad Bateman. There you go. Amazing pickup. I love that when they drafted.
But I want to say, receiver might have been their biggest issue,
and they solved it.
But their defense, that's a $1 billion defense. Who can't hold you. They can't stop anybody.
That was a meme at the start of the year, Michael, that I agree with.
No, it's true. Against real teams, they cannot stop them.
They tighten the fuck up by the end of the year.
they let the Browns like 40 on them.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. But go look at the playoffs. Go look at the playoffs when they played Tennessee. They clamped the fuck out of Tennessee.
I'll say playoff is different. That's when you really step up. But
Okay.
I'm saying for how much they spent on their defense, they should hold people to
That's
no
what I'm
points.
saying. Though I think they're gonna be a good defense.
That's my issue with them. Is their defense gonna
I
stop
think that's
people?
a top 10, top 7 defense this year.
It is, but when they play teams like the Chiefs, they cannot. I mean,
Well,
it's the Chiefs,
yeah.
but they
I
get
understand
smoked.
what you're saying, but I do think will be a game-changing defense this year. They've had a whole year. Like sometimes it just takes time to glue, like to get good as a defense. Like hell, look at the 10-6 Bears defense when they went 10-6 that year and had probably the best defense in football. Like that defense was years in the making, other than you, because it's like you have all those players, you're gluing them together, and then you insert a superstar like Khalil Mack, and it's just boom, it all works. But still, all I'm saying is if you just get all those players to play together they had a full season, playoff games, I'm telling, in a full off season now, that defense is going to be scary good, especially when they're not on the field. They're not going to be on the field because the Ravens just chew so much clock because all they do is run the ball. It's an amazing plan. I can't blame them for it. But yeah, I don't know. The Ravens are a scary team to me. I don't know. Well, I'm interested to see what they do this year because I think they kind of took a step back last year. People have started to figure out their weaknesses. But I think they'll be back up in that upper echelon they were like 2 years ago. So
yeah.
So I'm going with the Ravens of Baltimore. All right.
That game, and some other game were only games where we split picks. I think it was Charter. I had Washington. You had the Chargers. That was it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. But that is it for week 1 predictions. This should be going out the day of the first game. Happy NFL Easter day. I don't know, like kickoff day. I don't know. But I hope y'all are enjoying some football or about to enjoy some football before you watch this. I know I will be watching the game tomorrow night.
Do you want to try to have, I mean, I'm not trying to put you on blast mid podcast, like a schedule where it's like the predictions go out Saturday?
Well, they can't because we have Monday night. Yeah, Monday night games. I would like to just put them out Thursday at like 3 so everybody can watch them, and then you got games.
Okay, and then I was gonna say the recaps go out like Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
You can do that. We'll record it right after the Monday night games and Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
We got a schedule. There's the schedule if you're made it this far. So let us know.
Make it this far.
What's up, Michael's mom?
that was just so weird.
Bro, she's a super fan, but it's okay.
She's a super fan.
So Michael, you got any final words for the viewers?
Go Chiefs. That's all I gotta say.
I'll hit him with a bear down, baby. Bear fucking down. I'm excited for the NFL season. We're ready. We're ready for it. I hope you're ready for it.
Yep. Next year, Frank Livia is in the NFL. Mark my words.
For what team?
The Chiefs. Kick
what
returner.
Position?
Kick returner. Return specialist.
I gotta clip this and send it to him. Okay. Yeah. So like, subscribe.
Comment, bitch.
Bye.